I'm going to say.
Good morning to all of you in the cyberland. I appreciate the opportunity to speak at the event commemorating the 10th anniversary of the Transportation Research Group of India. I thank you for asking me to speak. In 2008, transportation researchers from the US and India held a joint conference at the IIT Guwahati on transportation planning. Ram Pendiala of the Arizona State University and Chandra Bhatt of the University of Texas, Austin, invited me to take part. It was a great conference with large participation from both countries. One of the closing social events of the conference was a pleasant afternoon boat ride in the Brahmaputra River that flows by the city. There, I had conversations with some of the conference organizers about how to follow up on the momentum created by that conference. A suggestion was made to set up an organization that could bring together transportation educators from academic institutions in India for collaborative research, as well as to facilitate exchange of information of mutual interest. I give credit to Ashish Verma for spearheading the effort to create TRG along with Partha Chakraborty, Akhilesh Maurya, and others. Over the past 10 years, conferences, webinars, regular seminars, newsletters, and the creation of a scholarly journal followed. It's a great achievement that the TRG is now well established to advance the task of transportation research and education in India. In early 1960s, when I started my career, transportation research, both in India and in the US, mainly focused on highway materials, processes, and design methods. While the areas of traffic engineering, transit operations, and transportation planning were gaining increasing attention in the US, they were not that in the mainstream of transportation research in India at that time. Now, over the past several decades, however, the landscape has changed, and academic programs have vastly expanded, and excellent scholarly work is currently being done in all areas of transportation systems in Indian universities and research institutions. The TRG has definitely contributed in recent years to this growth. Most importantly, in raising the standard and thus enhancing the quality of research. Now, looking forward to the future, TRG should actively reach out to the practitioners. It has done very well in the academic world, but practitioners in private sectors and public agencies, they should be brought together with TRG or within the fold of TRG, not just supporting resources to hold conferences, etc., but also for active participation in TRG activities, serving in administrative as well as technical committees. It will not be easy, but effort should be made in earnest. To make research useful to society, we need to translate research results to operational practices and public policies. While I know there are practitioners already involved in TRG activities, but more needs to be done. I like to see the TRG gain the confidence of public bodies at all levels of government, national, state, and local agencies as an independent authority, so that the TRG's advice is sought for critical transportation issues. TRG must define itself as an organization that can create information necessary for transportation-related decision-making, in addition to what Indian Road Congress and other transportation groups can provide. In this regard, I would think that the TRG should reach out also to the IRC and other groups and find common areas to work together. As an example, the current pandemic-related crisis may have provided an opportunity for the TRG to offer its assistance to national, state, and local governments in applying the tools of logistics and transportation analytics to facilitate optimal use of available resources to meet the current needs, and also to prepare contingency plans for future pandemic outbreaks. The TRG can also provide assistance in developing operational plans for transportation agencies to respond to post-pandemic travel needs. Now, I know it's not easy and cannot be done overnight, but this is just an example that things that of current interest and current importance that can be seized to gain the confidence of the decision makers. Another item I want to bring to your attention is the need to support and nurture young scholars. As an example, a program of awards and recognitions can be considered to encourage excellence in research. Now, I may be ignorant. Maybe you are already doing some of those, but I may not be aware of that. So if you're doing, do it and publicize what you are doing. I believe the TRG has firmly established itself as a viable organization, and its future is bright. TRG officers and other volunteers should be proud of their achievements, and I applaud the leadership as they embark on the future. There are several individuals who have contributed to transportation, education, and research in India over the years that I have been familiar with. One of them has been Professor S.P. Dhingra. While he may not have been directly involved in the TRG, his influence is quite visible through his former students. By the way, I was the external examiner of the PhD dissertation of Professor Marawa, who was Professor Dhingra's PhD advisor at IIT Kanpur. So you know how long I have been in this business. I want to conclude my remarks by remembering Professor B.P. Pandey of IIT Kharagpur, who recently passed away. He was my contemporary. We were born exact same year, and we got our undergraduate degree same year. Two different colleges. He was from Bihar Engineering College, and I was from Jadavpur in Calcutta. But he was not only my contemporary, he was a friend. I used to look forward to visiting him at TRG conferences, and he'll be missed. I thank you all for asking me to take part, and I wish you the very best in years to come.